All information contained in this podcast is general in nature and does not consider your individual circumstances. You should consider the appropriateness of this information with regards to your individual objectives, financial situation, and needs. Welcome to Sharing More Than the Sheets, a podcast to help you and your partner make better financial and lifestyle decisions so that you can both focus on the things that you love. I'm your host, Michael Khouri, financial planner, green thumb, husband, and just dad. So yesterday I was in Sydney for my auntie's funeral, and I had some thoughts which most people have when they've gone to a funeral or they know someone that's passed away, and I wanted to share them with you. And it's something I was thinking about, and it was a very special day and very emotional, and it was a day of reflection as well. And for me, I wanted to record this episode. I had something else I wanted to talk about, but I wanted to really record this episode because it got me thinking about a couple of things. Now, when I talk to my clients about money and we talk about their goals and what they want to achieve in their life and what they're working on at the moment, there are a few things that pop up, and there are some things that don't pop up, which I start talking to my clients about. And I wanted to talk about the biggest 5 regrets that people have when they are on their deathbed, or just before they die, when they find out they've been diagnosed with something and they've got a very short period to live. There are regrets people have. Now, these are the top 5 regrets according to an article I found online that Tony Robbins wrote, and I wanted to just go through each one of them. And the first one is that I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself. And this is a big one. There's many people that I meet that have pretty good jobs and they earn good income, and on paper they look like they're fulfilled financially. But when I start speaking to them, I find out that they're not really doing something that they love. Like either they don't like their job, or they don't like their role or what they're doing. And it's, of course, not everyone has the choice to work in their dream job. But this person may be, and a lot of you listening to this may not be pursuing that dream job that you really want to be doing, or that dream business you wish to own, or that dream life you wish to have. You might just be thinking, look, it's never going to happen. Or maybe for some reason you're waiting for it to come to you. And I think it's really important to just sometimes sit back and look at, what are your values? What do you want to do? What does what you do every day of the week, or most of the week, which is usually your job, does it give you energy or does it suck your energy? And don't just accept the fact that I'm never going to be in something that I love. I'm never going to be in something that doesn't give me energy. You may not know what that is yet, and that's okay. But it's important to spend time in your week or your day to go on a journey to explore what that is. Explore, what do you want to achieve? What are you trying to do? What do you love doing? What is that thing? Like, what is, being true to yourself? What does that even mean? So just taking the time out in your day, your week, your month, even your year to ask those questions. The second one is, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Now, this one's a big one, especially coming from a financial advisor. And there's a saying, as a kid, I used to watch a cartoon called DuckTales, and there was a saying in that, I think it was DuckTales. Anyway, the quote was, you should work smarter, not harder. And when you think about it, working smarter, not harder. So still working hard, but doing it in a different way. And if you're just literally just working really, really hard to the point, and there's nothing wrong with working hard. I work hard every day and I'll do it for the rest of my life. But if you're working hard in a way that it's consuming all of your time and you have no other time to spend on your health, your relationship, your family, your friends, yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, then yeah, that's working hard in a very bad way, because you're just focusing on one of these several elements of your life that you should be focusing on. If you're working hard in a smart way and you are putting time and energy, but you're doing it in a balanced manner where you're able to focus on yourself mentally, physically, focus on relationships, your interaction with the community, etc., then that's okay as well. So just asking yourself that question, because it's like somebody that just works really, really hard. They've got their head down and they're just hammering along. Usually it's because they don't have a goal, or they don't have an endpoint that they're working towards, where it could be someone that's just investing and buying property and businesses and growing and building up shares, and they've got all this debt and they don't care. They just keep growing and they don't know why they're doing it, and they're just sort of, in a way, sailing to an island they don't know exists. So it could be that, or it could be even somebody that's literally just working so much and it could be in a job that mentally drains them, but it's at a point where they're not able to focus on all the other things that are really important to them. So I think having that clarity as to what's important to you, and just looking at your life, whether you have a work-life balance. Like if you found out tomorrow that you had 12 months left to live, would you be happy with your achievements? Would you be happy with what you've done? Would you be happy with, the hours in the week that you are spending doing work compared to other things? The third one is I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. So this one's a big one, because a lot of people that I know, even my clients, when I start speaking to them, they don't express their feelings straight away, including me sometimes, and they just bottle things up. And these feelings could be positive feelings. They could be negative feelings. They could be just feedback. There could be things that they just always wish they said to their friends or family members or their partner or their children or their co-workers or their next door neighbor. But just expressing your feelings. Sometimes something could be really scary, talking to someone about something. But most of the time, after you've said it, you normally feel a lot better. Whether the outcome was positive or negative, you usually feel a lot better because you just were able to express it. Now, this is a double-edged sword, because you need to make sure that you're expressing them in the right way and to the right person. Some people will express their feelings in the wrong way and it comes across wrong, for example. And sometimes they'll do it to the wrong person. For example, they'll have a problem with a friend, but they'll express their feelings to their other friend. Or they'll have a problem with a family member and they'll express their feelings to another family member instead of going directly to that person and talking to them about it. The fourth one is I wish I stayed in touch with my friends. Now, this connects a lot to all the other points I've mentioned, but having friends, being in touch with friends. A lot of people, whether even friends or family, I see them both just as important as each other. And being in contact with these people, because either A, they're going to pass away and you're going to think, I wish I, spent more time with them. Or B, you're going to, as I said, find out you don't have much time left on this planet and you're going to be like, okay, well, I've got all these friends from high school, which I really enjoyed spending time with. So it's important to just keep that in mind as well, and just make sure that you have this balance in your life and that you are spending time with your friends. The last one is I wish I'd let myself be happier. And that literally is probably the best way to summarize things up, where we have a choice. We have a choice to be happy. We have a choice to be sad. And sometimes not as much, of course, but really what we do in our time, in our life, it's up to us. We may have some things that are not within our control. There's a job we have to do to feed our family. We potentially could be in a relationship that isn't healthy. We could be working with co-workers, which are not healthy people to be working with, but there may not be a choice potentially, because it's not like jobs are everywhere and it's that easy to just quit your job and find another one. But in a way, you also do have the control to let yourself be happier, because it's your mindset. I've said this before, but a quote by Henry Ford, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. So if you tell yourself, I have no choice, you're not going to be happier. If you think to yourself, I do have a choice to control my happiness, then you do have that choice. It's literally a daily choice as well. Just because you weren't happy yesterday doesn't mean you have to be unhappy today. You have the choice to change that. And that choice can be a mindset shift. It could be something you do differently. It could be actions that you take, speaking to someone, following the things I mentioned earlier, being in touch with friends, expressing your feelings, having a work-life balance, having the courage to live a life that's true to yourself. These all are summarized in this fifth point, that I wish I'd let myself be happier. And I like the word of letting yourself be happier. Give yourself permission to be happy. I've got clients that have lots of money, for example, and they want to go on a holiday, but they don't. And I'm like, why? They say, I don't know. It's because they're not letting themselves spend money. They're not letting themselves be happy. As long as you could do it, do it. So the key takeaway from here that I just want to really, really push is that you can't change the past. You can change the future. And something that Tony Robbins says is that every breath is a chance to begin again. And you've got the choice just from this episode, just from me, just listening to this, you've got the choice as soon as it ends to just do something differently, whether it's messaging a friend that you haven't spoken to a while, messaging a family member, talking to someone that you haven't talked to in a while that you probably should, and it's probably going to be a family member or someone that you used to be close with. But just making the choice and putting yourself out there and having the courage to express your feelings so that you can let yourself be happier, make these decisions, and hopefully one day look back and have no regrets or very minimal regrets at all. Thanks for joining us on Sharing More Than the Sheets. Please make sure you subscribe to be updated with future episode releases, and feel free to share this episode with any friends or family that you think it might benefit. Please visit us at sharingmorethanthesheets.com.au to submit questions or requests for future podcast topics. These podcasts have been brought to you by Better Financial Planning Australia. To book a 15-minute phone chat, visit betterfinancialplanning.com.au.